Yeah, I put that in there as a little tribute to Super Troopers. Look, they got a flag here, and we got the fire and rescue out front of Walmart. Let's go inside. Yeah, they got some clearance up front in this Walmart. Looks like they're starting to clearance the Supergirl stuff. Not surprising, 20 bucks for that figure there. So it's only $5 off now, but it'll come down more probably. And then down here they got some of these little pop minis like an arcade, and they got the ones that are like with the basketball players. That's kind of cool. I might get the LeBron James just because he left the Lakers, so he won't have any more Lakers merch, and I'm a Lakers fan, so those are kind of cool. $3.50 for those. They got anything else? Doesn't look like a lot, but they do have this. So got the Rey Mysterio Lowrider, 20 bucks. I'm sure that'll come down even more. Then on this end, they do have some Power Rangers, some Star Wars. So I figured a lot of this stuff would go clearance there. So they're doing a reset. Maybe we'll eventually get some new wrestling figures and stuff in this Walmart. They haven't had anything in a while. They even got those Luke and Darth Vader Star Wars sets you can put together. There's some of the micro stuff. So check your Walmart for new clearance items. And they do have some new wrestling stuff back here. Look, you got the Penta Elite. So that's got a couple new figures in that set. You got the El Grande Americano. There's Penta. There's nobody else back there. So it looks like we missed out on some of the set. But that's a nice figure. I don't collect many of them, but I might end up getting those. At least one of them. We'll see. Look, they got the new Monday Night Wars set. Or at least they got one figure in it. We got Goldberg. That's kind of a boring figure. What we got down here? Ultimates. You got the new Logan Paul. We got the Great Muta. That's been out for a while. Wonder why they coming back out with that. What do we got down here? Oh, we got some new Street Fighter figures. Look at there. We got Yokozuna. Who else is in this set? They got any more? What else is there? That's cool. Look, we got Dominic Mysterio. And we got one more here. Ultimate Warrior. So they're already starting to double dip with the Ultimate Warrior. Alright, this Walmart, there was somebody over in the main movie section, so I'm going to start over here. Look, a $2 Xbox game. They got this weird shelf. It's just a mix of Blu-rays that are not on sale. DVDs, Gilmore Girls. They got the Peanuts down there, Walking Dead, Jag. And games. That's just weird. And then in the collectible section, I'm not seeing a whole lot. Got Bob's Burgers figures. There's those Sega Genesis sets. Movie Maniacs. Some Turtles. They got the Batman Returns figure. Got a Thor statue. Got a couple Godzilla figures new. They weren't in here last time. Look, somebody's already opening those up to try to find out what mystery figures are in there. Bastard! Dragon Ball Z, and then I don't collect pops anymore, so I always just give it a once over, make sure I'm not seeing anything.
There is nothing, nada, zip.
And they have a $5 bin. The other one has $5, racks. We got the Scream movies. Well, they got Scream 6 in here. Smile 2. I just watched that. That's a pretty good movie. For richer or for poorer. Not seeing much else new. They do have the one Blu-ray they usually have in here, which is Running Man. Forrest Gump. And Django. And then we'll start at the back end. This Walmart's got this random section back here of just all kinds of miscellaneous things. Like they had that Stranger Things set's new, but all this other stuff is old. And they got TV series back here and $5 stuff. That's weird. And then they got this section of the miscellaneous stuff. That double packs down there on Blu-ray are pretty cool. Meet the Parents. Dogma on 4Ks back here. And then some movie sets. Random A24. And then they got a section of horror titles that we've seen. Well, they got the 3 Hostel movies. A lot of people don't even know there's three of those. You got the Ring 4K set. Some Joe Bob, some Arrow 4K. A lot of shark movies there at the bottom. Clown in the Cornfield. And then they got some kid stuff. It's just a hodgepodge in this one. Doctor Who season 1 on DVD is only $17. That's a pretty good price. Running Man on DVD, $15. That's not a good price.
No, 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 I don't wanna, no, no, oh, no, no, no.
Then they got the Kill Bill and Jackie Brown 4Ks back here, still with a slipcover.
Accept no substitutes.
This Revenge DVD set. That's a weird selection of movies. And then they got a bunch of animated stuff. Some 4K Lord of the Rings and Hobbit stuff. Give you a big wide angle view. That's the exact same stuff they had before. Then they got what they call best sellers. Most of this is TV stuff though, so I don't see anything new since last week. This was the Walmart I went in when I went to the movie, and we're gonna go see a movie again. So Super Troopers 3, watch for that reaction video if I haven't put it out there already. Covert Affairs is a pretty good show. Gilmore Girls, Lois and Clark. All that you can get on Blu-ray though. I don't know about Nashville. And then they got that section with the slipcovers. You got the glow-in-the-dark ones on one side, and you got the neon sign ones. And then they've got their new release shelf. Looks like they're getting ready to put out stuff. They got the shelf already for Tuesday with the new prices, so not sure what else they got over here. Look, they got King Kong's already missing the slipcover. So they got the new stuff. There's Beverly Hills Cop for the 4K Steelbook. Looks like they got the Dawn of the Dead is going to be stocked right there. Nothing new there. And on the front, they already got the tags up for Hokum and Project Hail Mary. So this Walmart will be stocking all the new titles. That's good to see. Still got Mortal Kombat. That Desert Warrior still got Obsession, but it doesn't have a slip now. Limited numbers of slipcovers on new releases, it seems. I was walking out of the section. They got this nice Punisher statue. I think you can get a Marvel Legend figure of him that's not a statue. And then they got the Hulk. And then they got those popcorn buckets for $20 for Spiderman. So it's kind of timely. And then you got what? Magneto. And you got Thor, which we'd already seen. So
License and registration, please.
But I just gave you it, officer.
License and registration.
all right, we're going to go in here. We're going to go into bricks and minifigs. No, I'm just joking. That's over here beside Bath and Body Works, and then the store that I'm going to go into, which is Target. I thought I'd just show that. They opened up the new Lego store. I wonder how long that'll last. So this Target has started stocking the new collectible stuff. And so look, they got this new Friday the 13th the game. The retro game Jason. That's pretty cool looking. I used to get all those Toonie Terrors. I thought maybe they have the new Terrifier figure. If they don't, they restocked the original one. And they got restock of Child's Play 2. And that one's okay. And then they got Halloween, Curse of Michael Myers, Freddy versus Jason. So these are all just stacked up back here instead of people being able to see them. Oh, that's a Mummy. I thought it was a new one. That's the one I've already seen. So got Fugglers. Got a bunch of the Pops over here. And what do we got over here? See some of the horror figures that are coming out. These are new Kid Robot ones. That's Art the Clown. They got a bloody version of him. And then we got Ghostface. We got Michael Myers. It looks like he put his finger in an electric socket. Look at that hair.
You blew it!
That's ridiculous. What's the box look like? It's hard to do this one hand. Now, if his hair, look how long it is. Why is it that long and slicked back? It's just weird looking. They do have the new Jason Universe version as well. I dropped it. That's because he sucks.
Oops a daisy. By God. We're going to have to clean that up later.
That actually looks better than the figure, the character was in the video. So they got this new turtle figure here. It's pretty cool. Nothing else I need. So they do have some rivals here. You got the Punisher. Not much into the look of those figures. They do have the Wolverine with Hugh Jackman without his shirt on.
I am soaking wet right now.
I know some people were looking for that one, but there was also a Punisher in that size figure as well. And look, they got this Star Wars retro pack here. It's 6 figures in the retro collectible packaging. Princess Leia's one of them. That's kind of neat. Doesn't show you that small photo there. How much is this thing? $65?
That's too fucking high!
Yeah, it can stay on the shelf. But they got some new wrestling figures over here. Here's the new Legends line that actually includes more pieces for that diamond stud. So we got Triple H. We got Crush. That's a decent looking figure. We got El Matador, which is Tito Santana. And they got Bull here. So they got all 4 of them, so you could build that set. They got Stone Cold SummerSlam figure back there.
Oh, hell yeah!
And then they got basically the same ones, superstars as before. They got that Hall of Champions Intercontinental Champion set. Pat Patterson is in there, and then you got CM Punk in his classic look. That's kind of cool. You saw those ballers there. I found another one that shakes, so it doesn't shake much. Someone can get it and open it. But there's the Punisher figure. That's a really nice face sculpt there, as far as the scan, and then there's that Wolverine. So look, they got Venom and Jeff the Land Shark. And then they got some just random stuff thrown in here. More statues. I don't think anybody's going to pay much for those. That Jeff the Land Shark statue, I found that clearance at Walmart.
You know how fast you were going?
65?
63.
I'm freaking out, man.
All right, we're going to stick our head, as I always tell my wife, into Five Below. Maybe the rest of us will go in there too, but $1, $5, and $10. So it's not as all just Five Below now. They do have these cool keychains up here. Look, there's like a little spongy Michael Myers, the pumpkin. That's kind of neat. That actually sculpt looks pretty good. Look at there, of the Michael Myers. They actually did a good job with that one. That might be one worth getting. Then they got Art the Clown. It's like a card holder. They got some pins as well. They got the Art Krispies. That's a nice looking pin. It's only $5. And then they got that badge reel. I don't know if anybody at work wants to be getting Art the Clown badge reels to put their badge on, but either way. There's a bigger version of the Art Krispies. I like that. I like that artwork on that. Speaking of art, pun intended. They got this bin up front like a wheelbarrow. It's full of this miniature stuff. Look, a miniature Rubik's Cube. Then they got miniature Barney, and then miniature, look, Polaroid camera. There's your Barney. Got little figures. We've already seen the horror ones before, but now they got Transformers. And we got Masters of the Universe, so those are kind of neat. On the way to the back, they're starting to put the Halloween stuff up. You got the stackable pumpkins. Look at there for $7. And a ghost. So looking for your Halloween stuff starting. See if they got any of these different metal figs. We got Five Nights at Freddy's. You know, everybody's looking for that Spirit Halloween Five Nights at Freddy's animatronic. I'm going to go in there. You'll get a separate hunt from Spirit Halloween because the one near where the movie is actually open. So watch out for that video this week. You got SpongeBob. And we got Gremlins. This is kind of cool. Look, those probably glow in the dark, maybe. Neon. There's a regular Stripe. Who else they got in here? We got Gizmo. I like that one. Is there other Gizmos? There's got to be more Gizmos than that. Yeah, this one is him with the 3D glasses. So, oh, there's a bunch of those neon ones. So it's 4 of them. It's 4 and 4. I don't see all of them, so they're missing a few of them. There's one of the Gizmos there. Look at, oh, here's a whole other box of them. So they probably got them all. Yeah, there's Gizmo. I'm not a big fan of those. And what else we got back here? There's a Chucky globe. I was thinking it was those other figures. They do have the Gremlins mystery figures. And then look at this. We got SpongeBob. The characters as skeletons. Would they have skeletons with any of those characters? That one's got a little weight to it. It's probably the Gizmo and the helmet. Maybe I'll get one of those. And I don't really see much else. All this we saw last time we were in here. So no new horror characters. They got Groot, Shrek, Turtles, Minions. Just to give you a head for the horror fans, they do have that end cap still. You get these ghost face, the changing face ones. You get Chucky, Ghostface, Pennywise, Skellington. They do have the Charlie Brown glow in the darks. There's that horror coloring book. When I was showing it that one time, I did a Five Below hunt. One of you guys said I don't look like somebody that would color. I'm not a coloring guy. Probably not, but the horror stuff maybe. They got these little ones. I think some people are finding this Art the Clown now in those little vehicles. So look out for that. What is this? Halloween 2, Laurie Strode. That looks nothing like her. That is like one of the worst figure ideas ever. Other than I know they have Michael Myers. Oh, and look, my wife thought I might need that. I actually have that. It's the little duck with jaws. But what other ones they got? They got Stay Puft from Ghostbusters. And they got Cat in the Hat or The Thing. And who else is here? Oh, Willy Wonka. That's pretty neat. These are not, to me, worth $5. They should be $3. Yeah, Jurassic Park. What else is over here? Oh, they got these block sets. They're like poor man Legos. Look, we got Beavis and Butthead, Care Bears, Teletubbies. Oh, man, look here, a shark. A Bobbling Brick series is what it's called. So maybe we'll have to pick up one of those.
Yeah!
That's pretty neat. Poor man's Legos. And on the way out, I looked at the books. They got some comics. They got that sticker, Extreme Horror sticker book that we've seen before. Oh, and they got copies of The Odyssey. Go figure. Sense and Sensibility, The Great Gatsby, The Constitution, Greek mythology. Pick up The Odyssey at Five Below. And on the other side, they got this Love You to Death coloring stickers. That's a good idea, but I don't really like any of the stickers. If they were of the horror characters or stuff other than a lot of hearts and I don't know, nothing that interests me. It normally costs way more than $5 though. Then they got Rick and Morty and Corpse Bride glow in the dark. Not a lot of glow that looks. And there's some more horror sticker books down there. So I think that's about it.
You want to know why I pulled you over? Littering and...
Littering and
Littering and smoking the reefer.
Look, let's go into Barnes and Noble, and they still got this ladder thing out here. And then they whole front sections about the Odyssey. So they actually got a hardcover book version you can get for $15. That's pretty neat. I was thinking about getting it and reading it again. I read it back in literature in college. They got multiple versions of it, small ones. That's kind of cool. Reminds me of Clash of the Titans. And then they got this paperback kind of version of it. Little nicer cover. Barnes & Noble exclusive. So maybe I'll eventually get another version of that and read it again. But look here. This is a Barnes & Noble exclusive. They got this cool, sweet-ass cover for Jaws. That is nice. I like that. Barnes & Noble Collectible Edition. Exclusive. Got the red pages. Red leaf on the edges.
You son of a...
Maybe I'll pick that up. They got Stranger Things, Dune. That's nice right there. The Ultimate Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Got an Indiana Jones book. H.P. Lovecraft's Complete Fiction. You probably know that the Reanimator is one of the stories probably in that. And that's about it in this section. So they still have that cheap bin of movies, and Radiance titles are in here, 50% off still. I like to flip through and make sure they didn't add any that I'm not expecting. There's a Radiance title. We'll put it over here with those. There's a few more. I'm going to put them all together there. Just seeing Born in East LA. Daddy's Home 2. That's one of those $10 4Ks. I'm just seeing if they got any Blu-rays. I'm not expecting the 50% off. Chinatown's $10. A lot of this is the same stuff we saw. Normal is new. I'll put that up front. Opportunity Knocks. That's one of those retro slipcover releases without the retro slipcover. I thought they had that in here with the slipcover. Robin Hood, Men in Tights, Mel Brooks. So you guys looking forward to Spaceballs 2, the new one? What Women Want, $7.99. That's a nice... That's a pretty decent comedy back in with Mel Gibson in his heyday. Definitely worth $8. That's not, still a nice deal on The Abyss, 50% off. Monkey Man. I didn't particularly like that movie. It was okay. Son-in-Law. Why do we not have a Blu-ray of that? That's ridiculous.
A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit.
Maxine, 50% off. Need that up front. A lot of copies of Wicked that nobody's buying. And here's their display of those retro slipcovers. Hey, they got Sheena in here now. That's a really nice looking title there for multiple reasons. Shadowlands, American Pie 2 unrated. That's the new release that came out with a slipcover. Renegades, Casual Sex, very good movie. Leah Thompson is awesome in that. There it is, Opportunity Knocks. There's your slipcover version. Couple more movies that don't have slips down there. Who's Harry Crumb? This is one of the most recent releases. Relentless, Judd Nelson, and this was the other one that came out, Mickey and Maude. So on sale, these are okay, but they're not worth the regular price. So there's the two newest ones. Then we got Fear. I think this Elvis movie down here is fairly new. There's Kill Bill. King Creole, I'm pretty sure that's fairly new. It might have just came out. It's 40% off, so there's your 3 of the new releases on this rack. What's on the end cap over here? Nothing really new. Hey, this South Park, this is a newer release. Bigger, longer, and uncut. That's the South Park movie. It's just a boring steelbook, man. I've already got that in a slipcover version. I don't need it again in a steelbook. I'm not paying for that. Not double dipping for that boring ass cover. Give me something new. It's kind of like those American Pies, man. Those steelbooks are terrible looking. Untouchables, Cloud Atlas, a lot of the same stuff we saw over here. They do randomly throw a new title in there every once in a while, so that's why I look. Still got a little Nicky Steelbook. The Snowman, that's pretty good. And they got this little section over here of A24 stuff. Midsommar, The Lobster. That's a very underrated A24 movie if you haven't seen it. So here's your Arrow 50% off section. They still got Stranger Things, both sets. Soylent Green. The Outfit, I talked about that on the channel during my weekly haul. That's a good movie. I might eventually get the Andromeda Strain now that it's 50% off. There's a Radiance title. I need to put that over there with the other ones. Why is that in a case? This is new, The People vs. Larry Flint. Really awesome movie. Woody Harrelson does a great job in that. So that's probably a pickup this week for sure. It looks like it's only in 4K. I don't think there's a Blu-ray of that. Sometimes, you know, the big titles, they release a Blu-ray and a 4K. And then they got the A24 stuff down below. So I don't know that there's any new release that I want for that right now. I got the Drama recently. I haven't watched it yet. Have you guys watched that? But the sale still going on. Arrow Video this month. I'll give the children's section a once over. They do have the Babe movies, both of those. Well, children and family. The Holdovers, is that in the right section? Should that be here? And what's this? Goat. Has anybody seen that? I haven't watched that yet. I'm not big into all those animated movies. Most of the Pixar stuff I like, but I don't know about that. Doctor Who. Tom Baker, give me him all day long. That's my favorite doctor. Some of those are way cheaper when Amazon has some good sales, so that's when I buy those. Tulsa King, very underrated show. I love it, so I recommend that 100%. And then let's look at the main section before we get out of here. See if there's anything new. Amadeus with a slip cover, 30% off. I still need to get that with a slip. Ben-Hur, the original Batman on DVD for $5. Yeah, he's my Batman, but I don't know why they would. I guess they got to have cheap DVD options too. The Eye, that's another Arrow Video. I might be picking up during the sale. I don't usually buy a lot of those Asian horror movies, but I'll try one or two for 50% off. Encino Man, why do we not have a Blu-ray of that? There's a Radiance title. I need to maybe put that over there in the section. Downsizing beside it's one of those $10 4Ks. The Devil Wears Prada 2. Maybe if it gets really, really cheap during one of those Groove sales or something, but I have no interest in that. Or that movie there, Desert Warrior. Still got the Spider Wrap around the Day of the Dead. That title like had obviously a lot of momentum, and then, you know, it gets released and has all the problems, and then nobody talks about it anymore. King Kong, you can get that with a slip in here. The Walmart copy didn't have one. There's Reanimator. I'm still waiting for my Bride of the Reanimator to show up from Ignite. I would have pre-ordered that thing right when it came out. Other people are getting theirs, and I haven't. So, getting a little pissed off how these companies don't ship their stuff in a timely manner. Got some Peter Sellers action there. There's no way people should be getting that stuff like 2 weeks ahead of others when you pre-order stuff like immediately when it first comes out.
You're bust.
What's down here? I'm trying not to set off the alarm. That Rambo set, you don't get me started on that. That's another rant. That's a rant for another day about how Amazon handled those restocks. And still, people are getting those and others haven't. Small Soldiers, still they got a slipcover on that. What's this? That's one of my favorite Star Trek movies, Star Trek 6. They had that Splitting Airs right there. I skipped over, but that was one of those VHS retro slipcovers. That's new. Nirvana, the band that showed the movie. I haven't seen that yet. I haven't bought it. Let me know in the comments down below if it's any good. And let's look online and see what else came out this week. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Let's look online and see what came out this past week. We're looking at August 4th, 2026. And before we look at that, let's go back a little bit and go back up here and go August the 3rd. Had a prom night release from Synapse. That's the 4K release. So that had previously come out. You probably already got that. So let's look at the official releases for the week. You got the 20th anniversary of Talladega Nights, The Ballad of Ricky Bobby. Can't believe that's the 20th anniversary already. You got a 4K Blu-ray digital steelbook. Then you got the People vs. Larry Flint 4K. I really like that movie. Woody Harrelson is awesome in that. And so we saw that in Barnes & Noble. You got a movie I'm very interested in, kind of Backrooms-like, Exit 8. American Pie 2 4K steelbook. I hate that cover of that steelbook, man. It's just, to me, that's just boring. Safe 4K from Criterion. There's the American Pie 2 unrated 4K with, that's the slipcover version. School on Fire 4K. Little Fockers 4K. Makeo, however you pronounce that. Mako, whatever. Night of the Comet 4K steelbook. I like the looks of that steelbook, man. It's kind of cool. Ransom Heart, Warner Archives. Also, A Midsummer Night's Dream from Warner Archives. Spencer Tracy. The Seventh Cross. The Sisters, Presenting Lily Marr. So you get a bunch of Warner Archives collection releases there. I don't think I'm really interested in any of those. Then you get The Cardboard Lover, a re-release of Creepshow 2 4K. I'm assuming that's just standard version. Army Hammer and Citizen Vigilante. I want to see that. I'm interested in that. Rooster Fighter Season 1. So it looks like to be like a steel book. That's it. You got some stuff from August 7th, not much. Memoria, The Satin Spider, Boba Boo, no clue what that is. So really light week. Main stuff is The Night of the Comet, The American Pie 2, People vs. Larry Flynn, Exit 8, Talladega Nights. So it's some quality releases, but not a lot. So let me know in the comments down below what you picked up from those. And other than that, let's go ahead and close out the video. So what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I am JeffMan316, your pop culture reporter. I even have my name on that sign back there. The sign says JeffMan316 Live because that's where you and I join up usually 9 p.m. Eastern on a Sunday night to watch along to a movie. Talk about pop culture, talk about anything you want, wrestling, physical media. Went out on a hunt. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Stuck my head, as I said, in a Five Below because one of you guys was talking about they had some new little knickknacks, trinkets like related to horror stuff, so I showed that. I'll go ahead and tell you, I'm not going to show it here. I'll show it in the actual haul video. Did pick up that book in Barnes & Noble, Jaws, so I go in there. You know, a lot of you guys, you know, talk about how high their prices are. They do have some stuff. The 40% off sales, the 50% off sales are the only thing that make it worthwhile going in Barnes & Noble. So it's been good. Radiance Films 50% off, Arrow Video 50% off, was 50% off of Criterion. So they keep sales going, and then they do have books. So books are physical media as well. So keep physical media alive, and then also there's some collectibles so that I picked up. So I'll show all that in the haul video, so hopefully you'll enjoy that when it comes up next. I got a thrift store video that I'm going to be doing, and one of those videos, if night 2 will be a trip to Spirit Halloween. And I did pick up something that I wasn't planning on picking it up. I said I wasn't going to support it, but I did because it looked better in the hand, and that's why you go out and do the hunt. You get stuff in your hand, you're able to see it, you're able to compare it to what you thought it looked like versus what it actually looks like, and sometimes you'll talk yourself into buying something that you didn't plan on buying. Hit me up on all my social media. All that's down below. My Valoria video link, you guys have been using that. I appreciate it. My affiliate link is down there. And if you haven't used it, use it and get yourself 10% off your first purchase by using the code JeffMan316 when you check out. So really cool stuff coming up on the channel. So hopefully you'll join me and you'll keep watching the videos, and I'll keep making the content. And until next time, boys and girls, this has been JeffMan316, your pop culture reporter, signing out saying, you guys be safe out there.
All right, meow, where were we?
I'm sorry, are you saying meow?
Am I saying meow?